and get started. Um, I recognize some of your names. Maybe you participated in She Works before, maybe you participated in Live Girl before, maybe you have no idea what either is, and that's great. So we are doing a few new things this year. So if you have participated in the program before, great, because you can learn about the new things that we're offering. So in the past, She Works has been specifically just a summer program. And now that we have me, who's now the director of career readiness, we are a year-round program. So during the year, we are offering workshops and mentorships, but the internship program is in the summer. So essentially, the She Works process starts. We'll get into the timeline because it gets a little complicated. But the actual program runs from mid-May through July 31st, and that includes the career readiness training. Okay, so just to tell everyone a little bit about Live Girl, you can read our mission down here, but essentially we are a girls leadership organization serving girls in grades 5 through college. And we do that in many different ways. You can kind of see all the programs that we have here, and maybe you've participated before, maybe you have not. I know that Biani, I'm so happy to have you on here because you did help lead one of our confidence clubs when we were virtual, and that was so cool. So we've got a lot going on. We have 8-week programs, we have one-off programs, we have summer camps, we have a lot of mentorship. So always keep an eye on our emails or anything that comes out from me. And there's an event I'll be telling you about at the end of this presentation. That's tomorrow. So if you have any questions about Live Girl, just let me know. But essentially, our goal is to build an equal and inclusive future. So the She Works programs and all of our programs do specifically have a lens around students of color as well as first-generation students. However, anyone is welcome to participate in our programs. And if you have a question, we'll have Q&A at the end, but you can also just use the raise your hand function and I'll pause and answer your question. So She Works is an equal opportunity internship program. And our mission is really to equip students with the skills that they need and the connections to succeed. I'll just move to the next slide really quick. So one of the reasons we created She Works is because racism and sexism permeate all aspects of the career readiness process. So that includes, who gets into business programs, who gets into college in general. I mean, while it is mostly women in college, there are, certain systemic reasons why a lot of women end up in certain fields and not others. White men tend to give each other access to more opportunities. In the hiring process, a lot of companies will have a friends and family priority hiring for internships. And we are really here to disrupt that because we believe that every woman deserves the opportunity to gain access to a paid internship hopefully in the field that they are looking to enter. So our program enrollment in the past has been roughly 74% women of color and 40% first-generation college students. But again, anyone is welcome to apply and participate in our programs. But we do focus on these two lenses to help these students really feel more comfortable in the workplace. Because often career readiness trainings are very, white male-centered, and we have really broken that. And our training is not at all white male-centered. Very proud of that training. So essentially, the components of the program are the career readiness training. So we prepare you, we can teach you anything so our career readiness training really ranges. So we start with how to write an email, which some of you might know. And of course, we kind of go over it a little bit and what to wear. And then all the way to, how to speak up and make change in the workplace as an intern, how to handle microaggressions, all of those things. So it's a really expansive program. So there are about 8 to 10 career readiness training sessions. We meet for about an hour and a half at a time, and it's usually in the early evenings. And we do wait until after mid-May so that most colleges are done. So community-based learning and networking, we really try and form some camaraderie amongst the cohort. So all this, so we accept about, we accept and match about 100 students each summer, and we want you all to connect with each other. So we really do like to create this kind of, and forgive me, sisterhood. A lot of people don't like that word, but I love it. And I think that, you know, students, you all learn very well from each other. And then there's the internship, which is the work experience, which is, I'm sure, what you all are here for. And then mentoring. So every student is matched with a mentor to be there for them during their internship. So it's someone from outside of the company that you're working at that you can ask any questions to, you know, questions from, you know, how do I tell my employer I need to take a sick day, to there is a happy hour coming up at work this week. How should I behave? Like, what are the do's and don'ts? So you can really ask this person anything, or advice on speaking to your manager. So you just always have someone that's supporting you. And then, of course, Live Girl is always there to support you also. So we really consider this a wraparound program. Okay, so just to let you all know, like, what the roles are. So Live Girl, we consider ourselves to be the connector. So your internship, I mean, we do take about 2 interns from She Works to be specific Live Girl interns, but Live Girl is not the employer. We run the career readiness program, but we are not the internship employer for like 98% of students. But our role is to recruit diverse, talented candidates. So all of you, we thoroughly vet you. So you fill out an application, you know, you have an interview with someone on our team, and then we read your recommendation letter. So we make sure that you are ready for the program. We match the candidates to internships. And then we provide the career readiness training, and then we match you with a mentor. But we're also always here to support. So these are just Live Girl's main roles. There's a lot more that I do in this process. So the student's role, and I can't stress this enough, is to fill out the application thoroughly and accurately. It's a fairly short application. I think there are maybe like 10 to 11 questions on there. But the question that I think students tend to fall short on is when I ask, what are you passionate about? And I know that that isn't a very specific question, but I want to know what makes you excited, what sparks a fire within you, you know, what your, not just what your interests are, but where you think you can really feel passion with working or any type of field. So please just be very honest about that one, and open and detailed. And then we ask for a resume and a letter of recommendation. The letter of recommendation gets emailed to us, and the resume gets uploaded into the application. Again, even though it's a short application, fill it out thoroughly. And another place that students tend to miss is when we ask for your address. We need your home address, so your permanent address, as well as the address where you'll be at for summer of 2023, because we do match students based on location's a big factor. So almost all internships are in person or hybrid. So that's a really, really important piece that we need in there. Participate in the She Works community. So once we've formed the cohort, we ask that you participate, engage with other cohort members and colleagues. And so when you're in breakout rooms with people, get to know them, meet with your mentor, attend the career readiness training, and do an awesome job at your internship, which I know that you will. So that is most of the student's role. And also just to be responsive to us, we do our best to get back to you quickly with information, and we just need open communication with you so we can do the best that we can to match you to hopefully your dream internship. So we do have a different timeline this year. So we have a priority application, and the priority application is for, so how it works for a lot of internship opportunities is with large companies such as an industry such as finance and retail. They like to, some of those internships are already closed, right? They have their interns, you know, they find them the summer before. But we've been working with a lot of companies who do need a little bit of an expedited timeline. And those tend to be our bigger companies, the Fortune 500 companies, some government offices. So we do have a new priority application this year, which opens December 1st and closes January 5th. I do recommend that even though the application closes January 5th, you get your stuff in sooner, because we need to interview you and, you know, get you approved for the program. And that does take some time. And then those matches to internships are provided by February 1st, 2023. If for some reason we don't find a great match for you in the priority timeline, we'll roll you over to general. And even if you're not matched during the priority timeline, that doesn't mean that you're not amazing. It just means we think a better match is going to come along for you. Because only priority employers are applying at this time. And a lot of amazing employers aren't even thinking about internships until early March. So a lot of small businesses, again, a lot of government offices, a lot of nonprofits aren't thinking about these things until later. So the priority is just to try and match students with those big Fortune 500 opportunities. So when in doubt, apply for the priority application. And then the general application, which is where we expect the majority of employers and students to apply, runs from January 6th to March 5th, and then matches are provided at the end of March. So yeah, it's a lot of dates, but this is all on our website. So if you need any help signing up or working on your SheWorks application, working on a resume, we do have SheWorks mentoring where I can match you with a trained SheWorks mentor who can help you with these things. I just put the QR code up there, as well as the website, but you can email me if you need anything at all. And then there are a few more things that I know we'll go over in the Q&A. But I just wanted to mention, we do have this amazing event tomorrow at Stone Point Capital in Greenwich. And although it is more of a finance company, there will be people there to tell you about their jobs from all different departments. And I highly recommend that you attend. I'll be there. Our program assistant will be there. Those who have graduated from SheWorks will be there. It's going to be a really fun event, and there's free food. So I hope you'll consider attending. All right, so I just wanted to pause, and some things will come up in the Q&A, or I'll mention some things that haven't been in here, but I don't like to just talk at people for a long period of time. So I figure I'll just pause there and open it up for any questions. Okay, so something that I wanted to make sure that I really hit on is that the internships are across all sectors and avenues. So while, so a lot of people come into the program thinking you have to be like a marketing or finance major, that's not the case at all. We have all different types of majors that come in, from arts, like to English, to history, to biology, to data analysis. So whatever your major is, there is a place for you in SheWorks. We have a very diverse array of employers, like I said, from small businesses, but that includes like real estate. We have some influencers where those are actually some really cool internships where students get to go onto sets and see how everything is done. We work with some arts nonprofits where students get to like run their marketing, but can also be working with students, younger students, like middle school and high school students in summer programs. There's just a really wide array of internships, and something that we're really focusing on this year, especially for those of you who may be juniors or and seniors, is converting your internship to full-time employment. We did have quite a few students last year who are now working full-time for their internship companies, which is really exciting. And another point that I did want to mention that's pretty cool is that we do have some larger employers, and this is another reason to apply for the priority application, who are looking to relocate students for the summer. So they will relocate you to another big city. Maybe it's Seattle, maybe it's, Austin, Texas, and they will give you money to relocate for the summer. So that's an exciting opportunity. There is a question on the application asking if you're willing to relocate for the summer. I understand that's not for everyone, but that's something really cool that's happening for the first time this summer. Any questions? I'll give you a moment. Okay, well, if anyone does think of anything, I'm going to put my email address in the chat. I love a good, efficient meeting, but you can always reach out to me. I was hoping that we would have some active participants who could talk about their experiences with us, but our program assistant was unable to join today. But if you would like to speak with someone who has been in the program before, I'm happy to connect you with a past participant, maybe interested, maybe who did an internship in the field that you're in. More than happy to make that connection. Oh, forgot to mention the most important thing. This program is completely free of charge. Nobody will ask you for money. Nobody should ask you for money. Our goal is that all internships are paid. So this is a free program for students and for employers. The only person who needs to foot a bill is the employer when they pay you for your time. Okay, Courtney, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I actually did have a question. So the application that's on the website?
It's not on there yet because it opens December 1st.
Okay.
But I'll make sure to send out an email to all of you letting you know that the application is open. And then you can just fill it out. It's a Google form. So again, just be as detailed as possible, but it is pretty short. Most students
Right.
fill it out in one sitting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, last call for questions. Boy, I wonder where the other like 15 people were that signed up for this. That's okay. It's a crazy week. Are you all like home for Thanksgiving or traveling or packing?
Yeah, it's like midterms, like kind of. And so like I still have like work to do even though like we're technically on like Thanksgiving break, so it could be a little crazy.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a grad student and it's this week is very confusing. Like half of the professors are still like very serious, like, hey, we're doing work this week. And the other half are like, let's meet on Zoom and maybe we'll just do a half hour. And I'm like, what is this? I'm so confused. Um, but all right, if nobody has any questions, we will go ahead and end a little bit early, but please do feel free to reach out to me. There is no question that's too big, too small, too silly. This is it's a really fun program, and we're at Live Girl, we're really proud of what we built. And I'm here to support you no matter what. So again, just feel free to reach out anytime. And I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, Indigenous Peoples Day. And just, oh, sorry, it's not Indigenous Peoples Day. That's what we did, Christopher Columbus, that you acknowledge the Indigenous land that you occupy. Sorry, everyone, it's a Monday. All right, well, thank you all so much for taking the time. And like I said, please reach out with any questions, and I can't wait to see all of your applications come through. All
Thank you.
right, thanks.
Thank you. But I actually might have one last question. Sorry.
Perfect. No,
Um,
never
so
apologize.
so this internship is for the summer and it
Yes.
ends in July.
Okay, so basically how it works is that the internships start or they can start mid-June. The relationship is really between the employer and the student. So we have some students who, and then you can also choose if you want a full-time or part-time internship. So we have I'm really glad you asked this question.
Mhm.
We have some students who will start in mid-June and have their internship go all the way through the end of August. However, July 31st is when Live Girl stops our involvement in the relationship. If
So
that makes sense. And when your mentor is, released from their obligations, but we do have a lot of mentors who will stay on. So the program, and then we have a debrief the last week of July. So that's when the program formally ends, but we do have students again who do shorter or longer internships. So at minimum, internships must be 100 hours. And so some students who are doing the 100-hour internships might do it all in, like working full time for 3 weeks, or they'll do part-time for the entire summer. It really is up to you and the employer. And we do have full-time internships, especially for those who are, ready for something a bit more serious. And again, those dates vary. But the formal program is from the career readiness training will start in mid-May. And then internships can start, the beginning or middle of June. And then the She Works program formally ends July 31st, but you can stay on longer.
okay, because actually for my major at my school, I have to have an internship next semester, and it's like a class that I need like credits for, but I haven't been able to find one, so I'm trying to see if like whatever internship, if I can get one through this program, if I'd be able to do it during the school year, like next semester, and have it for credit.
Sure,
don't know
sure.
if that makes
So we don't formally offer that. Hold on, I'm just gonna stop the recording.